Right guys, we're here today, we're going to do a rainbow cake. Basic ingredients is flour, caster sugar, some egg and a bit of margarine. Okay, quantities that you'll be able to pick up on the website later on. We'll post everything, yeah. So first thing we want to do, we want to cream our butter and our sugar. Very important to cream the butter and the sugar first. Basically, the best way to do this is to actually use a machine whisk rather than hand whisk, because you just won't get the right consistency with a hand whisk. So this will take a few minutes to get. What we want to try and get here is basically a creamy looking consistency. We want it to get light in colour, and once it's light in colour, we then know that it's ready to get the rest of the ingredients added. This is a basic sponge mixture. It's 4 ounces of caster sugar, 4 ounces of self-raising flour, 2 eggs, and 4 ounces of margarine. So guys, we've now reached the consistency that we want. We're going to turn the mixture down, and we're going to add our egg. So once the egg is incorporated, it can speed up a little bit, and then we're going to slowly add our flour. It's very important to add the ingredients slowly and one at a time, because you're trying to incorporate as much air into this mixture as possible. Now some people will add a little bit of baking powder. You shouldn't really need it with this sponge mix. As long as it's handled properly and cooked at the right temperature, it should give you perfect results all the time. We're going to turn the speed up again now. Make sure all the ingredients are being incorporated. Okay folks, the cake batter is now ready. We switch our mixer off. We make sure that everything has been lifted from the bottom. Now what we're going to do, we're going to actually make our different colours now in our cakes. So this mixture will fill 3 tins. Again, all the measurements and all the sizes and quantities will be on the descriptions below. So we're going to simply split these between 3. And then we go to our colour. Different colours obviously cost different money, but don't be spending too much on the colours because they're pretty much the same. The first colour I'm going to use here is a poppy red. Mixture. Make sure that it's all incorporated through. And what you'll do, you'll just do the same process for all the layers off your cake. Okay. So we now have a lined tin. Basically, when you're lining your tins, make sure you line them all the way around. It actually helps the cakes from crinkling when you go to take them out. So we now pour our cake mixture in, and as you can see, the colour is very vivid. This colour will stay pretty much the same once it comes out of the oven. Just spread it around, make sure that we're touching all the corners. Give it a slight tap. That's ready for the oven. Hey folks, next thing we're going to do, our cakes are in the oven. We're going to make the butter icing. Now, butter icing is what it's called, butter. Now you can use margarine, but it's not advisable because it does tend to split. So the butter gives you that better flavour and it gives you a better consistency of icing whenever it's done. So the first thing we do, we put the butter in and we start the beating. Now it's very important to make sure that the butter is well beaten and coming to a pale colour. That there ensures that when the icing sugar actually gets in, that it's going to take the icing sugar and hold it down. So now that the butter is at the consistency that we want, again we turn our whisk down and we start incorporating the icing sugar. Be careful when you're doing this because it can go everywhere. And normally the quantity that we would allow here is every half pound of butter allow a pound of icing sugar. That's the general rule of thumb. Now this icing sugar and butter, you can add flavour to it if you want. You can add vanilla, you can add toffee flavour, you can really add any flavour that you want. So again, we're doing it slowly. Make sure everything's combined. And what we want to do then is beat this for a few minutes until it gets a light consistency again. Now we'll turn the speed up again. Basically what this is doing now, this is beaten so that it turns lighter colour obviously, but the lighter it gets, the better the accepted colours that you're going to add to it now in a wee bit. Now one very important thing to do here is halfway through your beating is to turn your mixer off, open it up and scrape it down. Because you want to be sure that you're getting all the butter incorporated into the icing sugar. Sugar has been incorporated, which means that it's going to accept the colour a lot better, and it's also a nice firm consistency which is going to help now when you start to ice your cake. If you do beat this as very warm conditions, it gets a wee bit loose, put it in the fridge because it's butter, it's going to harden again. Okay? Now, first thing we do again, we'll be splitting our butter mixture between 5 different containers. Then we're going to add our colour, and it's exactly the same way as we added the colour before to the batter mixture. The more colour, the better you'll get. So again, you can see the way that the icing's accepting the colour. With these colours, make sure you beat them well, because what happens is even the slightest dot of food colour makes a lot of colour. So if you leave any about, it's going to actually look like it's rum when you start icing. So basically that's the colour we're looking for. Folks, so basically we have our icing made here now. We have our different colours. We have our cakes baked. Okay, so this is the fun part. This is when we're going to put the whole cake together. The first thing you want to do is get a board, preferably round, square, it doesn't really matter, any type of board is grand. But the first thing you do want to do before you put your first cake on, you want to put a wee bit of icing on your board. This will help lock the cake in and stop it from sliding. Okay, so we'll start by layering here. We'll put our first cake down. Okay, we'll put a little bit of icing on it to sandwich. And we'll turn it, we'll put it on the wheel here. Now see these wheels? You can get these here up in the home bargains or any of the places for about $2.50 each. Very handy when it comes to icing cakes. So, first thing to do is start spreading our icing around. Don't have to be too particular with this, even if it comes out the edges, because we're going to be covering the cake with coloured icing in it. So that's the first one, and then we'll go with the second layer. And again, you don't have to be too particular when putting this on. And you don't really need to add too much of the filling. Okay, go for the next layer. Okay, so go to the next colour. So this is the beauty now about the actual turntable. It's easier working when you can turn the cake to yourself. And always check for squareness. So basically what I'll do, I'll just look here. The cakes are fairly uniform anyways. But if they're not, don't worry about it. It's just a cake. So again, just put the icing on and now we're going for our last one. So what we're doing now, just check that for size. Everything looks good. And then we're ready to ice the outside of the cake. Okay folks, so now we have the cake built. It's time to ice it. This is the fun part. First thing we want to do is just make sure your icing's a little bit loose. Spatula. And it's entirely up to yourself what way you want to put this on. So what we'll do, we'll just put it on different places around the cake. And again, you can see the consistency of the icing is holding. When you're doing this, you want to clean your spatula, so basically taste the hot water, just wipe it out, and then move on to the next icing. Okay, so again, at the moment we're just placing the icing on the cake. We're not actually going to be finishing it yet. And this is basically, doesn't have to be anything, it's just a matter of getting the icing on it, because they're all going to combine through one another. A wee dot yellow here, a wee dot down there, a wee dot in here, a dot there. Blue. Same thing. So wherever you see a few spaces now, just apply. The top we'll do in a wee second. So I think probably at that there'll be enough icing to cover the whole cake now once we start turning it. So secret is now, we taste the hot water, just wipe it down slightly, hold it level and start to bring your icing around, just following the cake. As you see, the colours are starting to combine with one another. That's what we're looking for. Again, you don't have to be too precise with this. It's just a general icing. Brilliant. As you see now, all the colours are combining. And what we're going to do here now, I'm just going to give a final push around. We just don't want this to be too precise. Okay, as long as the cake's covered. And regarding the marks, I'm quite happy leaving marks on it. Okay, so that's basically the colours that we're looking. Now what we will do, we'll go on to the top. Again, we're just going to combine all the different colours. We want to leave a wee bit extra here at the top because we're going to decorate. So that means that we want to have enough icing that it's going to take. It's not quite a naked cake, but it's a summer idea. It's just there's no real care needs to be taken. So basically that's that bit for now. Okay, so basically we've got this much done. What we're going to do is just clean up around the edges. So we're just going to do a little bit of piping, and all this is just a star nozzle with some of the leftover icing. Okay, so that's that done. Now what we want to do, decorate the cake. This is entirely up to yourselves. I've opted for flumps and jelly dots. It's up to yourselves what you want to use, and I think because it is a rainbow cake, we'll do a little rainbow here. We'll put a few wee flumps around here. Again, I'm not following any pattern. And then we'll sprinkle a few jelly tots on. Here. But you could do if you really wanted to. Is this few flumps around the bottom. Then basically a little butterfly in here. And then what I'm going to do now is just finish with icing sugar. Just to dress it up. And that's basically it. Now, what they always say is the truth in the pudding's in the eating, so now we're going to cut the cake. Okay folks, so basically what we're going to do now, we're going to cut this cake just to see what it should look like in the middle.